Welcome in, everybody. It is another episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Download the app. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up. It is a drawing room. Not what we were looking for in the home opener. Could be better, could be worse. That's the whole point of the drawing room, baby. Them's the breaks. 0-0, still looking for their first goal, still looking for their first win, but at least they got a point on the board. I think there's actually quite a bit to talk about for a 0-0 result. Anyways, I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll. I forgot to do that part. That's Yahya right over there.
Hi, in Rudo, we're not abolishing offsides.
I'm with Rudo.
And over on the other side of me, right there, it is Wolvestown Duane Brown. I forgot to talk to him about the Wolves today, but that's our guy, Duane Brown.
What's up, everybody? Happy point.
Happy point
at the dick. Happy point at the dick.
Pointy dick. Let's go.
Let's talk about that. So 0-0, obviously. Great 15-ish, 20 minutes at the start. And then it was the Yarbrough show from there on, right? 11 saves tonight. A couple double saves had to be made. Man, just it was a tough watch. It was a tough hang for the rest. Yeah, it was where do we start? Where do you guys want to start? Where do you want to start?
Do you guys want to start with the goal that didn't count? The one that should have been a goal? So this is where it was. Look how close that was. Do you guys think that's a goal?
Yes.
All right, let me zoom in a little bit. Does that look like a goal?
It's possible that the edge is over like Japan, that Japan goal in the World Cup.
Now, I think somebody was holding it back. If we zoom in even more, I think Rapid Man was just holding it back.
Why would Rapid Man do that to us?
I don't know, man. It's late at night. I was off the rails.
I think it's one of those goals, and we were talking about this on press row. Is the usual suspects: Pollard, Plone, Keith Richards, winners and losers. Everybody was there. If it was called a goal on the field, it was a goal.
Yeah.
Right. If it wasn't called, VAR wasn't going to change it. Like, it wasn't going to change it either direction. That's how close it was. There's no goal line tech. There's no better camera angle.
Goal line tech is very needed in MLS.
You would think, right?
Here's my hot take. These refs had no intention of calling that as a goal anyway. They were too focused on how could we call the next foul against the Rapids to even have been looking at the goal line for that. This is some of the worst officiating I've seen in a long time. I'm not just talking about the goals. I'm talking about the fouls, the missed calls. It was ridiculous, man. And it's like, I wondered when MLS season pass started last week, because I was like, ooh, like these camera angles are nice. And this looks like crystal clear HD. All of these referees bullshit is going to be like on notice now.
And it's never on notice. That doesn't matter to them.
Yeah. Now we're just seeing their bull crap in HD. So
there was there were some weird calls. There were some strange calls in this game.
And it was for both teams. Like, I'm not trying to say just the Rapids. Like, Kansas City got some shit calls for them as well.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be fair to the refs in that way, that they weren't just shit for the Rapids. They were shit all the way around. They were bad. Like, I don't want to be a total homer here and say, oh, they didn't help the Rapids at all. They did it, but they also didn't help Kansas City, except for those two very, very big calls about the games.
Yeah, and I think, I do think Logan has a great point there. Tons of chances in the first half. A couple in the second half. There were some decent build-outs. Obviously, the one you want back is Cole Bassett getting the ball on his left foot with about 6 minutes left in the game, and just sending a nothing shot in. And he brought that up too. He's like, that was the opportunity we wanted back. outside of those opening minutes, Yappy again within 90, not even 90 seconds, 70 seconds had another great chance that didn't go in. He had the offsides rebound, had the header that didn't go in that was almost the Zusi own goal that we saw there just now.
You mean the own goal they didn't count?
Yeah. But he should have had his head on it on the cross, right? Just so close. And then, and this is maybe something we get into later, but then they kind of pushed him wide, all the way wide to the boundary, and put Cabral in the middle. And I thought that kind of was the end of Yappy being an effective attack.
Really? I thought he did really well. He was pushing, man. He made the defense really respect him on that side. And you can see a lot of that play, especially with Gavon came in, that whole dynamic changed. I thought Yappy on that left was a smart move for Frazier because it pushed the defense out left and it opened a lot of that space in the middle. Yappy wasn't the main focus of that, but it was the defense main focus. And
it pulled a defender, but it was, yes, it pulled a defender, but once the ball was at his feet, there was no danger to the ball at his feet on the left.
I think there was. When I was watching it, I kind of saw Yappy run back and forth. I'm rewatching the game right now, so as soon as I see him, see Cabral come in, I'll focus that a little bit more. It was just that I saw his name being called more on that left side. Then it was in the middle.
Sure. Yeah. I just think, Cabral's speed on the outside and be in those first touches to open up space and Yappy being a target, it doesn't make a lot of sense to flip them. They're neither one of them playing their natural position. And I know you want to see what Cabral can do because there is no true, although I do think Yappy is kind of taken back up 9 to Rubio whenever he's healthy, but I just don't, I don't like putting either one of them in a different position, regardless of how it looked. That's not where you want either one of those guys.
Yeah. No, for sure. I agree with you, man. Play your players where they know how to play.
Yeah. That being said, and Duane, I'm gonna send this one to you here. Frazier, look, I've seen Frazier after some 0-0s, after some losses, after even some wins, where he comes in and he's not happy with anything that he saw on the field, right? But this team has turned over, right? There's 7 new players, 7 new pieces. You're down 2 key players in Price and Rubio. And he said he kept bringing up a lot of positives, a lot of things that he liked that he saw from this team tonight. Did you see anything that you liked from this team tonight? Was there any one thing? I know you're upset about the finishing and all that, but was there anything to pull from this that was a positive?
We'll get into it later. It's not the finishing for me. I have a different idea on why we're not scoring goals, at least for the second half that I got to watch close up.
I swear, if Greg brings up some Cubs go underneath the field kind of stuff, I'm gonna be not disappointed at all. I'm super happy to hear this take.
So things that I like. I was ready to take my maroon jersey in next week and put 20 Ronan on it.
Let's go.
That dude breaks ankles. And I'm already watching him command the midfield. He's shouting to people. He's pushing them where to go. So we're seeing some young leadership start to take shape in that midfield, which is awesome. But just watching him play is great. Yeah, he missed a couple of passes, but some of those long 30-yard passes by a lot of people. I saw some bad ones by almost everybody on the pitch, tonight. But I thought he was great. As much as I want him, because I feel like he's one of my guys now, I'm definitely a Ronan fan after watching him live. Yarby to me played out of his mind tonight. Just absolutely out of his mind. And he's man of the match for me. Not that Ronan wasn't amazing, but without Yarby playing on his head tonight, we don't get that point. So those two to me, I really enjoyed watching tonight. There were other good things too, but those two stand out for me like far and away. Just really enjoyed watching both of those dudes tonight.
Ronan came up in the presser. Ronan came up from Bassett. He's like, we already have so much. He used the word cohesion or cohesive when describing their relationship, and already, he already knows where to go and how to be available for a Ronan pass, for a progressive pass from him, which he needs to do more with it once he gets it. But Maxu brought him up. Frazier was waxing poetic about Ronan as well. He was great. He's been great for 2 games.
He is top tier.
Still, once him and Max were in that midfield together, I really love what those two can do with the ball at their feet. Their first touches are
I thought Max played better tonight than I saw all season last season.
Oh yeah,
for sure. He looked so good tonight.
He's in, yeah. So, I mean, maybe, talking about Yarby, let's go back to Yarby real quick because you brought him up. Sure. But 11 saves. Two instances where they were double saves. One of them didn't count because it was offsides, but reaction time was
saved it. Yeah,
was next level.
Blank too.
Biggest thing for me, besides, obviously the double saves means that he didn't catch those, but outside of that, sure-handed as all get out. There was nothing left hanging like last week where Seattle was kind of cleaning up some junk goals, right? Great to see there. But then you combine that with the back line finding some steadiness, and whether that was Beta coming in and just kind of being a rock, whether it's Maxu getting comfortable, whether it's Lawless doing his best to rebound from a bad game, or Keegan kind of finding his feet again. When you have those 5 at the back playing as well as they did, I think you should be mad you didn't come away with 3. That was as good of a defensive performance as you could ask for this early in the season with this many new pieces.
I will say this, man. Frazier gets a lot of shit about the defense. He's not doing right. And sometimes it's just personnel. Like, it really just comes down to personnel. Today, I think the players bought in. They were recovering. They were going into – when one player moved out of position, then there was one there to replace him immediately. Frazier always says the defending is 10 on 10, 11, 10 on 10. That's how you defend. And today you could really see that from the whole team. They were pressing. When they pressed with focus. They didn't just press to try to pressure them. Defensively in that back line, you could see that they were all talking to each other. They were super cohesive. On TV, I could see Lawless screaming at Maxu, "Hey man, come over here!" Maxu yelling immediately at Beta, "Hey, we're doing this." Like, that cohesion doesn't come from one game to another, except for maybe they bought into the system that Frazier wants to play. They bought in a little better. They also moved the back line a little more back. So to me, it's not just the players on the field. To me, it's also Frazier really pounding it in their head. Hey, man, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. And them being able to commit to the vision that Frazier has.
I asked Frazier about Lawless specifically. And I think it was his most insightful answer. Everyone knows Frazier loves his coach speak, right? He has a great way of using a lot of words to say nothing a lot of the times. But with Lawless specifically, he's like, there's no player on this team that takes a poor performance, perceived or otherwise, more personally than he does. He said we had to drag him off the practice field all week. And the way he was able to rebound from some of those and just put in the work all week long on top of the work in practice, right? His own training, his own working out, his own attention to detail. And I think it really showed. I think this game is not 0-0 without Lawless tonight. He was great.
Yeah,
he was absolutely great.
He really was, man. And I think also how you said having Beta back there really helped out. It really gave him a little bit more, gave the players a feeling of comfortability because they knew what Beta was bringing. It wasn't a brand new guy that they don't know how he's going to play, how he's going to react, how he's on the pitch in an actual game. And that really does matter when you're out there playing soccer. This is nothing against Gersh. I think Gersh is going to be good. I think he's going to bounce back. I think he's going to get adjusted to the league. But putting him in against the Sounders on a cold night, first time playing in the MLS, it's kind of brutal. Like, if you kind of look back at it, it's like, maybe you should have started Beta and eased Gersh little by little instead of just throwing him into the fray.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that's kind of it for notes defensively. Maxu, I thought was awesome. I'm curious to see what his passing stats look like after the fact. He did have quite a few turnovers on long balls in Seattle. I don't think he wasn't really on the ball all that much. I think it was more clearances than passes coming from him.
I don't think I've seen
he was good.
I don't think I've seen a defender have multiple diving headers as clearances before. Before tonight. And he's a big dude too, so it's like when he lays out to do that, I was like,
he's huge.
Wow.
He's not 6'3". He's listed as 6'3". He's much bigger than that.
He
towers over everybody.
He's at least 8'2". At least.
Yeah, something around there. Yeah.
He's bigger than Yao Ming. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. Ralph, let's talk about Ralph. Let's talk about that midfield. We'll start with Ralph and then kind of work our way through who was in there. But Fraser said, someone brought up, 2 starts in a row for him, and able to, Fraser really said he won it in the last 2-3 weeks of preseason. Like, they knew Price was a little knocked, and who's going to have that initial role of backing him up. And he had rave reviews for Ralph, and he said it's a night and day from where he was last season. Has a full camp, knows that he's in the rotation in camp, and he really won it. And I thought he was better than last week. I think he was still a little too invisible to be that that pivot in the back to kind of be the guy distributing, but better. Definitely step in the right direction, right?
What if I told you that he wasn't the pivot tonight?
No, not yeah.
Yeah, what if I told you he was actually a part of the double eight, and they moved Ronan into that pivot role?
Ronan played a lot back, and I immediately regret saying that as soon as I said it. But
again, but you're right. Like, I thought Priso was the one controlling the midfield in those first 20 minutes. I really thought that his presence, especially in where he was able to press and really attack the aging midfield that SKC has, I thought really, really lended itself to help the Rapids going. And without him, I think those first 20 minutes are not as impactful as they would have been otherwise.
Yeah. And Ronan was great in the Price role too, especially once Max came on at halftime, which I thought was a great sub. That was a really smart sub. You see Ronan controlling the midfield as well as he did. You might as well have him drop back and kind of orchestrate, let Max find those spaces, which he was great. He kept finding that pocket right above the left side of the box there. He's so dangerous right there. And I think especially, I don't think Ralph will play too much once Price is healthy. But you put Price in that role, Max, Galvan, there's clearly just a ton of talent compared to last year. Not just talent, skill, right? Like Acosta, absolute bulldog, right? But you're not going to him for the skill, right? You're not going to him for the sauce, not the dynamics to kind of change the game. And
more of a guy that you want to ground out the win than actually go out there and win.
Right. And so there's just so many more different ways you can kind of change up your tactics mid-game. And I love the idea of Ronan playing up. And then if you need a little more offensively, he can play that 6 and kind of distribute out, and let Bassett kind of find those pockets and kind of have him initiate the offense, but then have them sort of make that next decision to where the offense can go. I don't know. I really liked that move, and I thought for sure it was gonna create a goal. It just never showed up.
Again, I think you're right. Like, everything you said was completely right. Everything like that Ronan did today made that midfield run. It really, because it unlocked Priso. Like, it let Priso do what he does best, which is give effort and bulldog other players. It unlocked Bassett because it let him just be able to run back and forth and be that box to box that he said he wanted to be. Because you have somebody right there on that 6, that pivot that's controlling it, that you rely on those guys. And Ronan has come in here and proven that every penny that they spent on him, he's completely worth it.
Yeah. Duane, I'm going to let you take this one because you mentioned it in our little chat we had, pregame on Slack. Bassett still hasn't had the game that I think he wants or the fans want.
Nope.
Or Frazier wants or anyone wants.
Nope. I'm not going to put this, so I know we're talking mids, but I'll just get into why I don't think we scored goals, at least in the second half. I can't speak to the first half because I sit on the other side of the field. The second half, and I'll put everybody in there. Every time we get up to the box, we push it out back to the corners. And when you go back and watch it 5 or 6 times this week, watch
No, it's a draw. It's only twice. Yeah,
I'm already on the first. I'm already on the first rewatch. By the way,
so watch this. Every time they get to the box, they're going to push it back out to the corners, and they allow Sporting Kansas City to pack the box with every player that they have, rather than making their move, passing it up into that gap and taking the shot. They don't do it. Bassett doesn't do it. Mikey doesn't do it. Nobody does it. They come back and they pass it back out to the corners. They allow everybody from Kansas City to go right in and pack up on that front line of the box. And then we have nothing to do at that point but sort of try to pass it, cross it into the middle. But by then, Max has got 3 guys on him. Cabral's got 3 guys on him. Yappy's got 3 guys on him. It's too late by then. Like, we're taking too much time fiddling around with the ball. I kept watching Bassett come in and try to do some weird FIFA Bassett move that kept not working. It's don't dribble the ball, dude. Pass it. And it's just we played with the ball too much, and it was there were guys available to take the shot, and it just didn't happen because I don't know why, but I just know that we push it back to the corners, we allow the other team to pack the box, and then we have nothing. We're staring at a dark and light blue wall that is not going to let us get a clean shot off, and so. It's frustrating. It was frustrating to watch in the second half. It happened over and over again. There was a lot of extra dribbling when there were passes available, and so that was very strange to me. It was frustrating to watch.
Interesting. You say that because I think there was a lot of great switching the field in the second half, especially from Keegan, really finding either Yappy on the opposite side or Mikey, on when it's Beta or whoever on the other side. I thought they were really good about switching it up and finding those opportunities
until they get to the box.
I mean, but that's every team. I see what your frustration is, that it's more that they don't take the shot. That's what you want.
It's not so much the shot; it's that they're not even passing it to the guy who can take the shot.
I don't know. I can think of a few times in the second half where Yappy was out to the left. That's why I thought Yappy's name was called a little bit more. When Bassett had it in the middle, Max would have it in the middle. But the thing I do really agree with you is that they do pass it too much, and when they do, and they don't take the shot often enough, and they should just take a shot because weird bounces happen all the time, especially when you have 10 guys already in the box. It's bound to hit somebody, but it can bounce off somebody and. They do need to be a little bit more aggressive with the shot selection.
We didn't spread them out at all. We just let them come in and just completely condense and pack in there.
Yeah, I think
it was bad.
I think Cole's gonna be able to be unlocked once that Nicholson and Barrios is Lewis and Cabral, right?
Gavon and Cabral, man, you gotta stop pushing this J. Lula super sub.
You think you don't think Galvan's gonna be the super sub?
No, dude. Galvan was supposed to be their starting number 10 last year until he got hurt.
Well, yeah, but really that's then. This is now. Who knows where it's gonna be? Either way, Lewis Galvan doesn't matter. They're both so much more dynamic, right? Although Nicholson, I gotta say, he had a couple moments that were frustrating, but overall, I can't really knock him. too much. But my point is,
I'm not gonna lie, I have so many different opinions from both of you today. Like, it's weird.
You had a better, you had more commentary in your ear. You saw replays better than
Yeah,
we did.
that's I'm like, it might be. I just find it weird because usually I'm like, yeah, we're pretty much all on the same page.
But I'm just seeing Cole and the way he's playing. Take out Yappy, put Rubio there, right? Take Mikey out, put Galvan there. Take Nicholson out, put Cabral there, right? And all of a sudden, and put Price in the Priso role. I think Cole's gonna make some really impactful plays when the situation around him picks up a little bit, because this is not the ideal supporting cast for a Cole Bassett right now. I don't think
it's not, and you're completely right.
I would agree.
Yeah, the one thing that I will say about that, it's disappointing that I wish Cole would take that step and be the guy no matter who's around him. But it is true. Like, he is developing. He's only 21. He needs people around him to help him be better. So once he gets older, he can be the guy.
Hold on, Joseph. I would not say he was so good. I just think he's better than I have ever. I have been the hardest Nicholson detractor on this pod for sure. Maybe total.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's said as much about Nicholson as you have for sure.
Well, he cost
barely.
He was one of the only moves in that second window, and he just didn't do much on the stats. He didn't get on the score sheet until the third to last game of the season. So, but I think he's doing as good of a job as you can hope until these other wings get up to speed. I think we're getting the best version of him that we've seen.
He definitely did stop play, but he wasn't costing the Rapids like he did last year.
Although he should have finished that goal that ended up being a Yappy offsides because it hit him in the freaking feet. Where else should the ball go, dude?
No, and I don't know, man. I thought I thought today was a worse game than he had last week, because every time he had the ball, it was tough. He immediately stopped. But again, what you're saying is true. He's better than he was last year. He's not costing them games. He's not costing them plays. He's more than anything just stopping the play, which is better than what he had. My thing is that you're completely right, but I also feel like that midfield is lacking a lot of creativity. They're lacking the confidence, I feel, to make those extra passes. They're lacking the confidence to like get the ball into the box, chip it over some of these guys, maybe make that extra run. That's why Mikey, I thought, was so impactful today. I thought Mikey had
an awesome game.
I really thought, besides Yarbrough and maybe Ronan, I thought Mikey might have had the best game. He was burning them in the wings. He was creating the most plays. And I think that's the thing that Rapids are needing. And you saw in the first 20 minutes when Mikey was doing all those when Mikey was burning their wing backs, because he was switching side to side. When he was getting the ball in the middle, the Rapids were dangerous, super dangerous. And I think that's what the Rapids need. They need wings, how you said, that can cause a lot of chaos and wreak havoc for the other team's wingbacks and open up those spaces. And they can't crowd the box anymore, because then you're pulling defenders, you're pushing them out to the side. And those midfielders need to be that when you don't have that impactful wingers. Those midfielders need to take that role of being creative and getting the ball into the boxes, pulling defenders, and pushing the ball forward.
Yeah. All right, 30 minutes in, right? Just about 30 minutes into the show. Let's give Yappy some flowers. Let's talk Yappy, dude. Like, damn, he's gonna score some goals. He is going to score some goals, man. Yeah. Woo!
If he doesn't leave, he might be the Rapids' first ever 20 goal scorer.
I totally agree with that. 100%.
If he stays on next year, he might be the first ever Rapids 20 goal scorer.
There were still a couple, he's still a little baby deer, right? He's still trying to figure out his feet, but man, there are just some moments where you are like, this guy is going to be electric. Physically, very few people will be able to hang with him. Very few. He's bigger, stronger, maybe not necessarily faster, but once he kind of figures out what to do with his feet in traffic, and that's kind of, to me, been the biggest problem, is not one-on-one, but when the second defender gets there, when he kind of receives a ball, like a longer ball where defenders have time to kind of get to him near or just into the box. He doesn't really have the footwork yet to get out of that cleanly. But God, get him on the run. Get him behind that last guy. And it is a force, man. I am so excited to see that.
I love the offside goal because it was dirty and trashy. And he picked up like that's what we need. Like I need somebody to go in there and know that it's falling apart and is still going to stay on his feet and push the ball in. And anytime I see that, it's just massive props for me.
Right.
To not give up on a play and just get those trashy goals in. Don't get me wrong, I love the pretty ones too, but I respect the trashy ones.
I wonder if that kind of thing was something he was able to pick up from
Zardes
last year.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Like, at what point do we stop saying Yappy as a backup 9 and we start thinking how we're gonna get Yappy on the pitch with Rubio, with the real playmaker as a 10, with somebody that can really turn around and get the ball to him immediately and pull other defenders.
Well, he wasn't bad on the wing tonight, like you said. So, that maybe that's a trial run.
This is a good thing
for what that could look like.
Like, this is a good thing. The Rapids now have to ask themselves, like, how do we get these two players that can be elite together on the pitch? Like, this is a good question to ask yourself if you're the Rapids. And I'm super excited for it. I think you just play exactly the way you did with Zardes last year. And I think Yappy's younger and faster and can probably get some of those balls quicker.
He can catch up to those balls that Zardes sometimes was a little bit behind.
Exactly. And Yappy does have that dog.
Yes.
Yes,
but it's just, and he's going to learn every time. Like almost everything I can think of that we're going to say he needs to work on is literally just repetition, right? Getting to those longer balls and, he sees it coming towards him. He's like, all right, I'm in position. And then a defender's just like, actually, that's mine, right? Like, because he's not just taking those 4 steps closer to the ball, little moments like that. But God, yeah, he's going to be devastating. And you put him in front of Rubio, right? Whether that's like a halftime sub when you need a goal or a 60-minute sub, and it's going to be wild, man. I'm in. Yappy hype is delivering.
Yeah, dude, Yappy. There's a reason national media is talking about Yappy.
Yeah,
national media does not want to talk about the Rapids. The Rapids are one of their. Not that they hate them, it's just one of the more boring teams, honestly, for national fans. And I get why. It's not an expansion team. It doesn't have a high price tag number 10, like maybe a Charlotte or, well, not Charlotte, but like a St. Louis that has claws. Like, again, the Rapids are not a media darling, but they are in love with Yappy for a reason. They are looking at the Rapids because Yappy can be the future number 9 for not just the Colorado Rapids, not just a top tier premier team, but for USMNT as well.
USMNT, absolutely.
He's
the striker for USA. I'm telling you, that's the other guys ain't it, but Yappy is. So
especially if he can prove he can.
I would love to see him. I'd love to see him and Vazquez find it out for that spot. Yeah, it's
well, get ready for Yappy in the World Cup. It's happening.
That'd be tight.
We love the backyard, Kevin, but it's cold today.
I like the backyard too, Kevin, but my butt has still not thawed out from sitting on the cold bleachers tonight. So,
man, you guys, it is 180 minutes into the season, 2 matches into the season, 1 point. No goals scored. And I think we just talked like this team has 4 or 6 points and is like cruising.
The thing is that they got
it's so much better than about this whole roster than last year.
The thing is how I said on last podcast, there was glimpses that the Rapids could play good. You could tell that the Rapids are playing better. They made so many improvements from 1 week to the next that it's hard not to be a little bit excited. Do you still want the results? Of course. Do you still want the goals? Of course. I'm not telling you be happy. I'm not here to try to hype you up. I'm here to tell you understand that the team is progressively getting better.
Ronan and Maxon.
Exactly. It's gonna get better. The Rapids are gonna be good, in my opinion.
Yep.
I'm not here trying to blow smoke up your ass. That's not what I do. You probably don't even shower, and I don't want to be back there. But honestly, I'm telling you, the Rapids are improving. Again, I'm not telling you they're gonna win the West. I'm not telling you they're gonna win the MLS Cup, but I'm telling you they're better than you probably think.
So, 2021, 1 point from the first 2 games, right? And I don't.
What differential on that one? First 2 games.
I have to look it up. I'm looking it up right now. But I think, and you mentioned this, you have to feel like there's more talent 1 through 25 or 20 or wherever you want to cut off this club compared to even that roster, right? It's exciting. I'm excited. Like, I think we're not going to wait until August for our first road win, for our first road winners lounge. You know,
first road win's happening next week.
Knock on wood, fingers crossed.
It's happening next week. I'm going on record.
San Jose is also really spicy, man. They just beat that.
I'm not as worried. I'm not as up on them as you are. Yeah.
Dude, they're good. They are very good.
We're gonna beat them next week.
I'm with you. I think they will beat them, but I think they are good.
They lost tonight too, didn't they? Is it over yet?
No, they won.
Oh, I thought that. Well, I thought they were down last time.
They were down 1-0, and then they came back to win it 2-1 with 2 great goals.
We're still gonna beat them.
I do. Again, I agree with you, but I'm also not taking them lightly because I think they're good.
I'm starting to get worried about St. Louis now.
I'm telling you, St. Louis and San Jose are not as bad. St. Louis, I had no idea, but San Jose, I got St. Louis. San Jose, I think it's better than people give them credit for. At least
so it looks like a draw with Dallas to open the season 0-0.
Okay.
And then Austin beat them 3-1 at home. So they're -2.
They're -4 right now.
They're -4 right now. XG wise, I know they were at 1.4 in the first game, and I'm looking up this one tonight.
They were over 2, I think, today.
Shots. Sorry. XG was 1.7, but it was 1.2 in the first half. They were electric in that first half. 0.92 first half, 0.78 second half. So every half has had at least 0.6 XG. If you take out the first half in Seattle, they've been over 0.7 XG in each half. Still haven't put one in. Man, I just think, God, it's so tough to say this after zeros, right? The first 2 weeks, but the stat that haunted me last year was how few times they even scored 3 goals, right? Like, you had teams scoring 6 goals at the rate that the Rapids were scoring 3 goals last year. I just see them having some games where it's like, that's their 4th goal. There's 20 minutes left. Like, it just feels like between the dynamics of Rubio and Ronan and Bassett and Galvan and Cabral, and like there's just so Max breaking out and Price
coming out there. Yeah,
Yappy. It just feels like there's just like so much collective talent that it's frustrating now. I get it. I understand any fan that left that game and was like, what the hell? How have we started like this? Because you got embarrassed week 1. You didn't score at home against a rival. I just can't, there's only so much we can talk about early and while this team gels. I'm excited. I'm still excited. I think 4 or 5 weeks ago, I was in Duane's office and was saying how I think this team's going to be awful. They won't make the playoffs. Everyone's going to be pissed. And I'm as optimistic as I have been about this club right now than at any point.
Why Mitch is allowed back in the office.
Am I crazy? Where are you guys at with that? Optimism for success for this offense / team.
You want to take it, Duane? You want to go?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's a good point, Kevin. Fair enough.
Yeah, but the Broncos never looked good. That's the difference.
First of all, First of all, NFL. Second of all, Nathaniel Hackett is not at Rapids level.
That's true.
That guy is not good. Anyway, and I'm saying that as a Buffalo Bills fan who had to endure him as an offensive coordinator. So, yeah, he's not good. Anyway, I do feel good. I'm waiting for things to gel. But man, seeing Max play tonight, seeing Ronan play tonight, seeing Yarby shut all the haters up tonight about him, being too old and everything.
That's me. I'm
all good
haters.
things, man. Like seeing Yappy play. Ironically, like the only player I need more out of is my one guy who gets to play, which was Cabral. Like Cabral doesn't. He's
not a striker. Get him out of the middle.
No, I hate to say this, and I hope that it changes. Cabral does not have any dog at all in him tonight. He reminded me of Kai Kamara. When the ball wasn't at his feet, he was just walking around like taking in the sights, like just like taking a tour of Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Like he didn't. I need him to get after it. A guy that fast, and I don't know if it's because he was in that striker role and that was weird, because I didn't see that last week. Last week he was full blast and in flash mode and ready to rip. But. I'd like to see him back out on the wing, I think.
But yelled at him too.
Yeah, it was just a lot of walking, and for me that was sad because I'm like, damn, that guy is so fast. I don't ever want to see him walking. I just want to see him like burning dudes all the time because he can, So, I'm gonna chalk it up to an off night. We don't have enough data to really be able to say whether it is or it isn't. But
he only has 60 minutes or
if that much. And last week he was super exciting to watch and not so much in a different position tonight. So I still think he's got it in him. He's still one of my guys. But I think in addition to gelling, that's the last piece in the puzzle, is like getting him. I don't know about you guys. Mitch is like super excited, right? Like we just heard it from Mitch.
I'm excited.
Dude's all in. I don't know what it was about tonight, but when they came out, down the steps and got onto the field, I was pissed. I don't even know why. Like, you guys know me. I'm not like an angry dude.
It was the new entrance with the little fire thing. You were mad.
Well, those were pretty cool.
Why were you pissed?
I don't know. It's like the guys came out.
He was mad Biker Jim's was there.
So, no, like it was just like we were on our home turf, and like I saw my guys come out, and I was just ready to just throw down.
Oh, so you weren't like pissed. You were like fired up.
I was just like sports angry. Yeah, I was just like, oh my god, like let's destroy these dudes. And then it was
Oscar
like the refs. Yes, like I was like ready. And then it was like the refs in the first 3 minutes, I was ready to run down and like jump over the wall and like go punch a ref. Like that's where I was at tonight. I was just like so amped up to watch these guys play at home. And it was just very weird. So it was, I don't know, man. It was fun. It was fun to go watch soccer live again. And man, I am positive about the season. And I just want full dogs and everybody. I want everybody to have that dog. I want
Rubio coming back fixes the dog problem. For sure.
Yes, but I want dogs everywhere. I just want friggin' dogs just running everywhere. Madhouse. So,
I think we kind of covered everything. I have something I want to get into that's not on the pitch. Do you guys have anything else that we missed that you want to?
I just want to say I'm pretty excited for the season too. I think they're going to be good. I think they're actually going to go all the way, man, for sure. I think they're better than most people give them credit for.
Yeah,
I get the frustration
forever. Yeah,
like I've watched them. Like I truly do. When I heard what was going on with Fraser going out to Arsenal and seeing what Arsenal was doing, it gave me a sense that things were gonna change and the style of play was gonna change. And I think I've seen the style of change play quite a bit to what I thought they were gonna do, and that just gives me a lot of hope. I think things are gonna gel, and they're way better than people give them credit for. And I get why people are frustrated.
Yeah, yep, and it's fair. Look, this is all. There's only so much you can talk about after 2 games, right? And I said it all last year, where this is played in the aggregate, right? You can get super mad after 1 game, and you can be super happy after the next. But how does it play out over time? We're kind of just in the wait and see mode. Find little things you like here and there. Try and build on those. Like there's only so much we can do, and I kind of am where Fraser's at, where it's like, yeah, I wish we won. I like a lot of the things I saw.
Yeah.
Kind of that, right? So, but let's get into this. And this is more Duane. Sorry, Yaya, you're at home because you are too insane when you're watching your team to be around other people.
I hope this is the question that I wanted to ask. I hope it is.
Is it about hot dogs?
Kind of.
I'm just saying.
I will take
Dev
dogs.
Tailgate was awesome today.
I will take Dev dogs all day, every day at C38. Tailgate over a $16 hot dog inside all day.
It was from the second I walked in. One, you could barely walk from the road in front of the stadium to the hill right on the back. It was thick. Tons of people showed up. I want to say Dev said they sold 500 tickets. That seems like a really big number, though. But maybe that's it. Either way, crazy impressive turnout. Ran into a bunch of people that said, what's up? Shout out the couple from Nebraska that came up to both me and Duane to say hey. Talk to Jarrett, talk to obviously the whole Joseph, Jared,
crew, kind of.
Pollard, Plone,
Dev.
E-Ray, Dev. Yeah, everybody. It was really cool to see everybody out there. But man, packed. Good vibes. I'm excited for some C38 when it's not freezing. God, that sucked. But it was awesome to see everybody out there.
It was also weird to do a tailgate at night. Like, it was dark. Like, after you left Mitch, we're just standing around in the dark eating hot dogs. It was hilarious.
Daylight savings time.
I know. That will happen before the next home match.
Kind of piggybacking off that. How was the atmosphere like all the way around? They're talking about improvements. They're talking about trying to be better with things with the fan atmosphere. From the TV, it looked fuller than I thought it would be, especially with the weather.
Same.
But besides that, everything looked kind of cool. The players kind of clapped the C38 off. Like, how was it like?
The one thing I noticed, and it was from the jump, the thing that I noticed the most is, and maybe this is a Nuggets thing, is where I kind of noticed that they immediately had a video of the players trying to draw the SKC logo from memory. Right?
That. It was awesome.
And it's kind of those Nuggets things where they like make them. I can't think of any of the games off the top of my head right now.
Song or sing,
or they'll have like 2 Nuggets players talking to each other, like like quizzing each other, whatever it is. It felt very KSE, but light years from last year. Just more stuff going on. They had Drew and Jordan live right down by the field before the game on the Jumbotron and Stadium Sound, kind of previewing. Visuals on the field were better, right? Walking through that tunnel with the sparks and the flames, smoke in the crowd. Great tifo from C38 to start. I just thought
the gates were much better. Kevin brings up.
I really, and I can't speak to the crowd experience. That's why Duane goes, right? He can speak to that as a season ticket guy. Just visually and audio experience and, just being within the stadium, which is all I can say. I'm not down on the concourse or anything, but just kind of being in the stadium for the game. It felt more interactive, and it felt like they offered a lot more production-wise than I've seen. It was impressive.
How cool was the Or thing? Like, because I saw J. Lou was out there before the game at the tailgate. He was out there.
I kept looking for that, and I think I missed it.
It was so crowded that you couldn't see.
Yeah, it was just
dark. It was dark.
See it.
Yeah.
I do want to give props out to C38 for an excellent tifo.
It was awesome.
You know, it always helps to go to the other side because you can actually have that height advantage. You know, but it was really great. Looked really awesome. So huge shout out to them for that. I was super happy for them to see them get to pop some smoke. That's just something that has been over a decade of trying to get.
Wait until a goal happens and they're popping smoke. God,
yeah, that was waiting for
they
that.
did.
So
they did pop smoke.
Well, yeah, but I mean, when it actually
was at the beginning, yeah, like it was at the beginning. It wasn't something that you could see on TV, really. Like,
well, no, they popped it for the goal that didn't count. So
they didn't show any of that here because they were talking about everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hope that they get some colored smoke, maybe some maroon or something. I don't know what
the one thing I want
is, but
I want how Austin gets the green lights. I want red lights on a goal. I want the whole stadium turn burgundy. I think it's so cool. Honestly, I think it's the coolest goal thing in the league is when just everything just turns green in Austin. I want something like that. I don't know how to do it, but I want it.
It's gonna look demonic as hell. And it's gonna be fun.
I know it's so metal, dude. It would be so sick.
And it's gonna, and they just play Metallica.
It would be so tight. All right.
I will say my favorite thing, my new favorite thing that I have been asking for years. The hype video includes water.
Whoa!
Rapids.
Why must you be so logical? Get the hell out of here.
I was so pumped to see. I mean, even like a really quick, like little shot of a paddle coming down by a raft. I was like, oh my God, they're showing actual rapids things. I was super pumped for that. I mean, it just looked cool, man. Like rapids are scary. It's way scarier than just a big mountain off in the distance.
It's scarier than a Sporting Kansas City, that's for sure.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah. Good things inside the stadium.
Real quick, too. One last thing I want to say. Does Pulse Camp have the most punchable face in the MLS?
I think there's 4 candidates just on SKC alone before you even
get tonight. It was Sweat for me. I wanted to punch that guy.
I saw Pulse Cap on TV multiple times, and I'm like, oh my God, who are you, dude? Like, you look like Drake if Drake got hit by a bus 15 times. Like, who are you? Like,
all right, drop who you think has the most punchable face in the MLS in the chat. All right, let's real quick. I know we kind of covered everyone, but let's give some flowers real quick. Wrap up because it's 12:24 a.m. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Go.
My flowers are gonna go out to Keegan Rosenberry.
Oh, we didn't talk about Keegan.
We didn't. He had a bounce back game.
That's a good sign for Keegan.
It is. It's very, especially because he's actually turned into a midfielder. Him and Beta turned into midfielders on attack, which is really cool to see because he played the Zinchenko role that Arsenal plays. And I thought it was really fun to see him play that. I thought he played great. I thought his passing was crisp. And I thought his pressing was the best pressing on the whole team.
He looked good. He looked real good. Nice flower. Nice flowers, yeah. Duane?
The obvious is Yarby, but I want to go with Beta.
There you go. Look at the outside backs getting some love.
Yeah.
After a horrible week.
Beta just came in, when we saw him on the starting lineup, I was like, this is a really, and like we all love Beta anyway. So seeing Beta Shore on the starting lineup coming in, like I just felt so much more confident about the back. And the dude's just aggressive, man. And he's there when you need him and he gets box to box. Like you don't have to worry about him. I'm just thankful for him. I'm so glad he's still here and that we signed him for another year. Like, I'm so glad that he played great tonight.
When I saw that come through, when they were, I think it was the Zardes press release that he wasn't re-signed, or no. Whatever press release it was where it said that they were negotiating with the 4 players, right? And Beta was on that list.
Yeah.
My initial thought was, well, he's just going to kind of get the Drew treatment, right? Where it's like, been an impactful player at the MLS level for a really long time, club legend in San Jose, has kind of found a role here where he can be the veteran guy that doesn't have to play very much. And he just played 90 game 2 and looked awesome. So, let's go. I'm riding with Beta this year, man. That's dope.
Totally.
Let's go. Flowers, man, you guys both took Yahya took mine, and then Duane took my backup.
That's actually funny. They're just like, I'm gonna go so beneath everybody. They're not even gonna know what's gonna hit them.
I'm gonna give Max flowers, man.
I knew you were gonna go Max.
Well, one, he was in my guys on my guys draft, but
he deserves him. He deserves him.
Yeah.
Oh, nice flowers, Kevin. That's actually a decent one. Little too meta for me though. To me, Max. Max. It's nice to see him. Well, because we talked all the time last year. It's like we know what optimal Max is, right? And it's being in that midfield, allowed to drift up to that pocket on the left, just above the box, and be a playmaker that has the threat to shoot and score, right? But also can play back and be the first pass from that back line, right? And have the speed and skill to break a press real quick. And tonight, I think, was the first night that we actually saw that happen in his entire time with the Rapids, where all those things hit, right? I thought he looked good last week. He looked better tonight. And I just want all the Max minutes. Please, all of them. Give me all the Max minutes.
Really good tonight.
He is that guy. He really is that guy. And it's going to take longer than any of us wanted. And I think that's okay. Damn. I'm in, dude. I am in. I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, it is because now you have options. Imagine you have Max and Bassett with a Ronin as your 6.
Oh, God, yes.
And you just keep that as your start. And then, you know what? Jack is not feeling well. Let's throw that lineup out there. It's going to work. And then, let's say you want to give Priso some run. Priso's starting to get some run.
No, we still haven't seen Price and Rubio. It's crazy to me, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is what it is, man. I'm excited. Rapids are winning it all. I'm saying it. You don't got to believe, but I believe.
All right. Love it. All right. Yeah. Start the what do we do at the end?
Plug them in.
What?
You got to plug them.
Yo, yeah, plug away. Whatever.
Yeah, it's past midnight. We don't care. Follow DNVR_Rapids on Twitter. We put out content all the time. Follow DNVR Sports on YouTube. All our content's going to be there. Give us a 5-star review anywhere you hear that, wherever you hear this podcast. Don't forget to leave a like or comment on this podcast. It also really helps the algorithm. Give us a 5-star review and a comment also on Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you hear it. It helps us out a lot. We've actually been hitting the top 200 in podcasts for the last 4 months. The top 200 in soccer podcast in the U.S., which is quite a bit. So keep helping us push it. We'd really appreciate it. And if you know a Rapids fan that needs a little bit cheering up, send them our way. We'll try our best.
Duane?
Big things happening for that first match of April. We are teaming up with C38 and doing a DNVR Rapids takeover. So be on the lookout for more information. You can ride with us on the bus from DNVR bar over to the stadium.
Oh, we didn't. Oh, that's okay. We'll talk more about it Thursday. We got plenty of time.
Yeah. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. I'm just giving it a quick little teaser here. So cool things are happening as we continue to create more fun things for the show, and during the week we have a really cool team up with C38 coming out soon too.
Yeah, we
Green Mountain.
I love all the homies just putting it in all our athletic greens.
Because
Shady Rays.
Because we do these takeovers at ball. We got all those. They gave us a deal where it was like every ticket we buy for a Navs takeover, they'll give us a Rapids ticket for whichever game we choose. So we have
LAFC.
Yes, we have almost 30 tickets for the LAFC game. If you don't have tickets for that game yet, I know most of you are season ticket managers, but if you don't, it would be awesome if you could do that. You'll get a scarf, you'll get some you get a C38 pass, you get all that stuff. So we'll do all that stuff. So
if you've always wanted a DNVR Rapids scarf, this is the best way to get it.
Yeah, so you'll get a ticket, a bus ride, a C38 pass, and a scarf, and you get to hang out with all the homies, all the DNVR crew. I know a bunch of them are planning on coming. So it's against the defending champs. We beat them last year in Colorado on the 2 penalties, so it'll be super fun. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We'll talk more about it next week. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, all that good stuff. You guys did all the plugs we ever need to do now, so good job. No ad reads this week, guys. Good job. And more important than all that, baby, the Pids.